See, the devil's not stopping nothing. Just restarted. Yep. Let's see. Hello. Hello. You know, it's so weird. Hey, Dustin. Hey, Dustin. Right on. So we are back in the building. I was just live and I was talking about Julia being a Russian bot. And look, I'm starting with that word to see if it gets me again, if that's the word. Go ahead and smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. We are back in the building to continue talking about love and hate and all that's late. Take two, because the bots got me. I was breaking down the audacity. Yeah, we're back. The devil doesn't stop me. The devil makes me pivot sometimes, which was actually good because I was right at an hour on that other video. And I've been trying not to do 5-hour lives, you know? Well, I like doing a 5-hour lives, but I don't really go back ever and splice it down into a rewatchable clip. And so that's good that I kind of did the first video of this on the love part, Love Island. And now we're on the Real Housewives of Miami. And so thanks for coming back. But yeah, Palaver, here, look, I was trying to go back to the comments because you guys were talking good in the other one. Home. Now I thought I had it on comments on repeat. You guys can go ahead and what's this gift box twirling down here? Let's see. So yeah, because the other one ended it right at an hour and 4 minutes. Skip that. Let's see, can I get to these comments? I thought I allowed for live replay. Darn, you guys had good comments. I was just trying to get to the fucking comments last time. But yeah, so okay, so my point is that Real Housewives of Miami, Julia, and that's why they all have devil horns right there. We were talking about that part and how Julia expected her whiteness to lure Russell to her side against his black wife under the code of whiteness. And that's why she was telling Andy that she was just wanted to treat him like human. We're going to listen again. Let me go back here. So Gertie was telling us what really happened on the trip. Now, I want you to hear Gertie's side, and then we'll go from there.
With Julia, how did it all start? Like, what is her issue with you?
It all started, I guess, with her and herself because there was no beef. We went on a cruise in 2023, guys.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yes!
This is like 2 years old.
And keynote, this is before we even go to season 6 reunion.
Oh, so this is like old.
I felt like I was on the Truman Show. I literally was like, what is happening? Please make this stop. So this whole time past, it's 2023, we go on a beautiful cruise, myself and my husband. There's 3 different itineraries. She was for itinerary 2, I was itinerary 1. 2 passing ships in the night, I go home, and she's on her way there. She then calls me and says, Martina can't go anymore. Something's wrong. But the way that she sounds, she's very emotional. And I'm like, is everything okay with Martina? What's going on? And she's like, no, I can't talk about it now. I'm in glam right now, but I'll tell you about it later. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, what do you need? Can you come and be with me on the cruise? You hear your friend in distress. You hear something's wrong with Martina. In my mind, I'm thinking that you know the worst. And I'm like, okay, I just got home, I'm packing, but I'll repack. Send me the itinerary. And so we go on the cruise. I hear that I am being placed somewhere else to have dinner alone because there's a private reception dinner that she is going to. Now, her publicist, who happens to be Alexis Bellino's publicist, tells me, we're all organized, your name is on the list, and I'm kind of like, okay, I guess I don't make a fuss about it. I go to where I'm swung. I go to the place and they don't even have my reservation. So now I'm like, oh my God, how embarrassing. Like, what am I doing on this ship?
Yeah.
I'm not mad, but I'm just feel like, what am I doing here? And I left my family to be here on this cruise with you. I just don't know what to do with myself. And this is like weird, right? And so I guess in her mind, that was considered an argument. Like, she even said, oh, I'm so sorry. I wouldn't have asked you to come on the cruise. But anyway, where are you? And we were supposed to meet for drinks later, which we didn't. Almost 2 years passes by. And the first time that she actually confronts me with it is at the wedding chaos, and where she throws the water at me. And I'm kind of like, what is going on? So this got turned into, Gertie volunteered to be on a cruise. I just left the cruise. Gertie made everything about her. This is night 2, the last event, where I thought on the itinerary we were going to dinner together, but you swing me somewhere and I'm alone. Gertie was talking crap about Alexia. And I'm like, I was actually imitating your Barracuda argument with Alexia in front of Jen Fessler. But she takes that out and says, Gertie was talking crap about you, Alexia. So for the ladies, I'm kind of like, I can almost understand why they were like, oh, we don't with Gertie, because you have Julia throughout this entire hiatus that the show's off the air in their ear. And I'm the one that's like not in the know of what's going on.
So that's why I'm saying the level of lie and plot with malicious intent. This all fits slander to me. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I just grew up during LA law. Move, Milo. I just grew up during LA law. I think I know a good case when I see one. And the elements of libel and slander have to do with malicious intent, right? And so if you're bringing up something from 2 years ago, Julia, like it's presently something, and then spreading lies, it's bona fide lies. Nothing you said happened, bitch, happened. You Russian bot. Nothing you said happened. But you get to use a show like The Real Housewives of Miami to attack this black woman's reputation in the midst of her surviving cancer, healing from cancer. She's still going through reconstructive surgery from healing from cancer. And here you are, lying to the world. 250,000 people watched the first episode. 271. I have the ratings up right here. Let's see. Shit. Okay. 290,000 people tuned in on the season 7 premiere and listen to Julia lie on Gertie. 290,000 people listened to a lie and believed it. A lot of these bitches believed it because in the comments, to this day, people are saying Gertie's too much for showing out, for proving that she's none of the things Julia said. Gertie is greedy. Gertie is a clout chaser. Gertie's using Julia for a storyline. Gertie doesn't have anything going on. Gertie takes up too much attention. Like, so many people are just jumping on this we hate Gertie train over lies that bitch told on June 11th, 2025 to 290,000 people that bitch told lies to. And now we're here on the last episode was July 30th. And 271,000 more people are wondering, why is Gertie so mad? Because all Julia did was throw water on you and call you out for making it about yourself. Not even her other castmates are willing to hear a truth from her, because this bitch has been setting up lies during the hiatus of the season. They've all been kicking it, kikiing, leaving Gertie out of stuff during the off season, sharing this lie about Gertie. That's disgusting colonizer behavior. Russian bots. Okay? Hey, user. No, but your mom is one. I think that's your mom's name is Nicker, right? That's your mom's name? Right. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe just me putting hate in the title is making these other bots come over here. But you come in here and leave a comment is just helping my algorithm. So thank you. Thank you very much, user. You let the devil use you. And then I'm an angel and I get to use your comment to make my algorithm stronger, because any type of engagement, don't you know on YouTube, it's all good, bitch. All publicity is good publicity on YouTube. Say something else so we can time you out again. You might be related to the other two people I put in timeout earlier. It seems like you got sent over here by somebody. And that's what I'm saying. Even Gertie has been inundated with bots, okay? She has identified that a lot of the comments and hate that she's been receiving on her platforms is bot behavior, okay? And everybody knows Russians are in charge of the bots. Ask any election in the United States. Yeah, it's hood rats. I'm talking, they know I love Nicolandria and hood rats. Did you see the line for the fucking hood rat? For the head hood rat herself? And she's over there with Huda Beauty, you guys. So that's just another place that's not safe for black people, because if Huda Beauty is gonna fly the hood rat out and talk about, you know, letting her be the cover girl for that shit or whatever, and you know Huda Beauty actually stole some shit from black content, from black creators too. Let me look up that story before I misspeak. Huda, B-A-U-T, steal from black. Accusations have been made against Huda Beauty regarding copying concepts from black-owned beauty brands, including Beauty Bakery. Specifically, Huda Beauty was criticized for their baking powders and their marketing campaign, which featured a color scheme and photo shoot that was similar to Beauty Bakery's signature desert baking theme. Some social media users and commentators have suggested that Huda Beauty has a history of stealing ideas from black creators, according to Threads. These accusations and discussions have been ongoing, with some social media users, like a YouTuber named Jackie Anaya, choosing not to support the brand due to these concerns. And on July 30th, Huda Beauty hosted the hood rat herself, Huda Mustafa, who sexually coerces black men for sex under threat for entertainment purposes under the NBC Universal umbrella. Yes, it happened. Joanne, thanks for coming through. Bianca Edwards, I love you. Palaver, yes, you always look, me and Palaver be knowing about the hood rats. Gertie is getting the Nicolandria effect. The ghouls are livid that Gertie has a solid ride and die man, and they're trying, yeah, and they're stuck on druggies, losers, and cheaters. Hello, hello, hello. They are really hating on the fact that a black woman's discernment and favor was able to lead her to a better path. Because had Ola, which is Olandria's nickname, I like that name for her, had Ola chosen not to pursue or be pursued by Nick, then she would have been left with the residue of Taylor all over her. And who wants that loser? Nobody eats Arby's, by the way. I used to have an Arby's by Samo High. And my friend worked there. And somehow his calf got cut on the slicer one time. That was disgusting. But I never ate Arby's after that because he told me how he cut something on the thing. And I was like, that's disgusting. And plus their sandwiches always left like red on that wasn't ketchup on the buns. And it was very bloody to me. I was like, that's disgusting. I wasn't into steak tartare at the time. And so I don't think that your beef should leave your bread bloody. And yeah. So anyway, nobody likes Arby's, but Taylor ended up with Arby's. Let's see. They get put out when I'm here. I don't do those idiots. Thank you, Bianca. What's happening? Are toes flaying? Yes. Yes. I didn't know that was a vertical thing. They must like fuck standing up. They must like fucking standing up. Fucking with my nerves. Anyway, sorry it's Sunday. But it's just a word. Did you guys really know that fuck means forbidden, unlawful, cardinal knowledge? It's not really a bad word. Okay. Now I'm going to pull up more audio of Julia lying on Gertie. To this day, she just did this interview on Watch What Happens Live this week, you guys. And she's still with the shits. I'm surprised she doesn't wear a pin because this bitch is with the shits. She stays shitty, okay?
You want to know the number one question for you?
Let me guess.
Alex from Mexico said, why did you expect Russell to be nice to you after you threw water at her wife? Martina was super rude to Gertie, and all she did was fail to join a Zoom call.
It's complicated. It's a little bit that I wasn't expecting Russell to be nice. I just, I wanted to talk to him like two humans. And I don't think Martina was rude to Gertie. Martina is a little camera shy, and she just wanted to keep her to herself. And she didn't want to make a scene at Lisa's party.
Also, she is Martina Navratilova.
Okay.
Okay. Live tonight.
We can't say that.
Oh, we can't. Sorry about that.
You want to know the number one question for you?
Let me.
Yeah, I did do the papaya voice thing. And I went all the way back to 2022. I think there was a video from 2022 I found. And she does the illy on the ends of words in 2022. But her overall pronunciation isn't as Latin thick sometimes. She goes in and out of it. So, but the over illies on Love Island, I feel like was part of a character she was playing. And just really leaning into the ditzy Latina type of like Sofia Vieira, Lucille Ballin type of, you know what I mean? Instead of the more spicy Latina, it's kind of like the, you know what I mean? Anyway. Yeah, that was at the first part of the other one I was talking about. And I played her voice on that tape. And she said a illy on that too. She said, and she called it her Dominican coming out. So she says gratuitously, positively. Yeah, she does an illy on the ends of things ever since 2022. So yeah, that sticks, that tracks. But here's Julia with the BS on why she thought it was going to be okay to go to Gertie's husband. She thought it was going to be okay to go to Gertie's husband and try to turn her husband, the father of her children, the man she shares her bed with. She thought Gertie was married to what? A Kenny Rodriguez? No, not today, Satan. Russell's a real one. So Julia and her bot self saunter up to Russell. And this is what she said. She was.
You want to know the number one question for you?
Let me guess.
Alex from Mexico said, why did you expect Russell to be nice to you after you threw water at her wife? Martina was super rude to Gertie, and all she did was fail to join a Zoom call.
It's complicated. It's a little bit that I wasn't expecting Russell to be nice. I wanted to talk to him like two humans. And I don't think Martina was rude to Gertie. Martina is a little camera shy, and she just wanted to keep hers to herself. And she didn't want to make a scene at Lisa's party.
Also, she is Martina Navratilova.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Boom. Live tonight,
We can't say
Oh, we can't. Ah, sorry about that.
You want to know the number one question?
Okay. You know why that's disturbing? Because you heard Isaac Mizrahi just there, right?
Let me guess.
So now we're
Alex
gonna...
from Mexico said, Petra K wants to know if it's true you made out with Kevin Space. Do you regret throwing the water on her?
It hasn't been a day that I haven't thought about it. And it's totally not my character. I was out of line. My emotions get hold of me. And Gertie, if you are listening to me tonight, I want to say I'm very, very sorry. Even though I apologize to you already, I understand that I caused you a lot of pain, and I'm very sorry for it. Even though we kissed and made up later on, literally and figuratively, I know that probably watching the show brought a lot of bad memories.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to see you at the reunion to hopefully put it all behind us and finally move on.
Do you regret throwing the water on her?
So that was BS.
Was it as big of a deal as Gertie was making it out to be that you were getting a facelift while Martina was in treatment?
You know, I didn't really. It was upsetting for me about that she revealed my facelift because I told her this in private. But you know what? I have nothing to hide, so I'm over that. It doesn't matter. I was more upset for her talking about Martina's medical condition and talking about that she had no right to.
By the way, your face looks superb.
Was it a ponytail? Was it a ponytail facelift?
No.
Was it a full face? Was it a full facelift?
Like a little bit of here, you know, like with
Lower
age.
facelift?
Low facelift and a little bit of eyes. And, you know, gravity with age.
Yes.
Come on, it's
no, I'm not
perfect.
questioning. I'm saying it looks great. But it looks even better than it looked on the show. Like, I feel like it's an even newer face since I saw the
Didn't
show.
touch anything.
Okay.
I think it's like being a young mom and having the boys.
Okay.
It gives me
It looks
this
great.
peps.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you very much for
By the way, like,
explaining
I
all
did
that.
not go to Paris to do the facelift just. I went to see my daughter Emma.
Okay.
That was.
And get a facelift.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Was it as propel fit? Got a lot of questions wanting to know how you felt about Martina's.
And, you know, it was kind of.
I'm looking for the Isaac Mizrahi comment.
Says she wore a wedding dress that you designed.
Story and a scandal.
Oh, really?
So excited.
Isaac Mizrahi. Isaac. I'll put Gertie. See if that comes up. Yeah, this is it.
I liked her, but otherwise, like, what would the season be?
Okay.
Not kidding.
Well,
Let's have the premise there. That's just out the water throwing.
Not the best take that I've ever.
I'm so glad you threw that water at that lady.
Why?
Okay. I liked her, but otherwise, like, what would the season be?
Okay.
Not kidding.
Well,
Let's have the premise there. That's just out the water throwing.
Not the best take that I've ever.
I'm so glad you threw that water at that lady.
Why?
Okay. I liked her, but otherwise, like, what would the season be? Not
Okay.
kidding.
Well,
Let's have the premise there. That's just out the water throwing.
Not the best take that I've ever.
I'm so glad you threw that water at that lady.
Why?
Okay. I liked her, but otherwise, like, what would the season be? Not
Okay.
kidding.
Well,
Let's have the premise there.
I wanted to make sure you guys didn't have any doubts and that I wasn't leading you astray when I say that Isaac Mizrahi is a misogynistic asshole right there, and that it was giving lots of misogynoir. Like, why is violence against a black woman something he loves? And he liked her. He said it in past tense. He said he liked her But what would his entertainment be had this black woman not been assaulted and yelled at and lied on? What would hit had nothing else would have made him happier or more entertained than watching this black woman be assaulted, lied on, humiliated, all for his entertainment. Listen to him. I want you to really hear. This is like a fucking icon. Like, where's the outrage? He still hasn't apologized. It's been a week. This fool said this a week ago, pretty much. Longer than 24 hours is a week in PR. He said this 3 years ago, and nobody did nothing. His clothes are still selling. Where's the outrage? Where's the outrage? Nobody's really buying his shit anymore. Where can you get it? At Ross, DD's? I don't know, TJ Maxx? I haven't seen anything with his name on it in a long time. I only know him from the thing. I don't know. I wasn't really, I don't know. Anyway. Oh, look, that's what Joanne said. Isaac, I like that I don't even see your brand anymore, not even in Target. See? Okay, yeah. And young mom where? Right, Palaver? Young mom in your head. That's why you hate Gertie, because Gertie looks so much younger than you. I don't have Bravo or Peacock anymore. Good for you. Because I feel like they're in on a psyop against black people, and they want us stirred, and not only us stirred, but they want to stir energy against our best interest under the guise of entertainment. So people like Isaac Mizrahi can have the audacity to not even have to think fucking twice about his anti-blackness, anti-womanism, to go on a show and say and condone violence against a woman for his entertainment, and then further assassinate her by saying you liked her, but now that she's a victim of a fucking assault and you're entertained, you don't like her anymore. That's what I get from how he says it. Am I weird? So he liked her, but now he doesn't, because she has proven this other bitch a liar and a full-on angry white woman, aggressive white woman. And now he doesn't like her for that. But he's so entertained that she was assaulted and has been like being lied on for entertainment. Listen.
Without water, throw it.
Not the best take that I've ever.
I'm so glad you threw that water at that lady.
Why?
Okay, I liked her, but otherwise, like, what would the season be? I'm not
Okay,
kidding.
well,
Wouldn't have the kind of thing. That's without water, throw it.
Not the best take that I've ever.
I'm so glad you threw that water at that lady.
Why?
Okay, I liked her, but otherwise, like, what would the season be? I'm not
Okay,
kidding.
well,
Wouldn't have the kind of thing. That's without water, throw it.
Not the best take that I've ever.
I'm so glad you threw that water at that lady.
Why?
Okay.
He says he is so glad. They just said her name was Gertie. He said he's so glad that she threw that water at that lady. He knows Gertie's name. But he's so glad. And you know, he used to be a judge on a project show, like on one of these sewing shows. And I always felt like he was biased against black designers. And now I know I wasn't wrong. Now I know I wasn't wrong. Because sometimes I'd be like, are you tripping, Larja? You know you be seeing it just way too much. So what? You had to wait 5 minutes for your bread in the restaurant. And everybody else around you who came in after you already has their bread, their water, they're all set up, already got their order taken, and you just sitting here like you got all this extra time. Are you tripping, Larja? Huh. I don't know. Or am I tripping when I go into the store and like, that's like 25 cents higher than like the last time I saw you, bruh. Oh, no, it wasn't. No, look, I happened to bring the receipt this time, bruh. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Am I tripping? I don't know. I don't know. Is it tripping to notice when a person like Isaac Mizrahi is on a global show like Project Runway or whatever the show was he was on? I could Google it, but you guys can Google it too. Anyway, I know he was a judge on some shit where his racial bias was showing. And I had to kind of brush it off because I didn't know him like that. But the casualness with which this man just chimed in on, and he was so gleefully excited about it. I mean, he's otherwise like kind of like just meh, but he was really excited, like hands clapping, toes tapping at the abuse this black woman has endured for his entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, am I tripping? Yeah, stop tripping. Yeah, stop tripping. Am I tripping? Or did I notice something that was really there and they're tripping because now I have to notice some bullshit that if I do call out, then you don't want me tripping about. So just stop doing that shit. I would beg to also offer that I bet had it been, I don't know who else was getting water thrown on him, would he have loved it so much? I don't know. We'll never know because it's not happening a lot. It's happening a lot towards certain people, but not a lot. I don't know. I'm gonna let you hear Isaac one more time.
I liked her, but otherwise, like, what would the season be? I'm not
Okay,
kidding.
well,
Would you have the premise that is water throwing?
Not the best take that I've ever.
I'm so glad you threw that water at that lady.
Why?
Okay, I liked her, but otherwise, like, what would the season be? I'm not
Okay,
kidding.
well,
Would you have the premise that is water throwing?
Not the best take that I've ever.
So that's why he has the devil horns, you guys. And Julia has the devil horns because she started it all. Martina has the devil horns because in the preview, she's always talking crap about Gertie. Let's see, I'm gonna find where Martina is talking some crapple. Martina! Gertie. Okay, here's
Chair. Julia didn't want her there.
here's Jen Fessler telling us what really happened when, because remember, in Gertie's story, Jen Fessler was there. In Julia's story, there's no Jen Fessler and there's no context of why Gertie may have been imitating Alexia. But now we're going to hear this.
This changes my mind.
So, what is it exactly that changes your mind?
Jen Fessler was there.
Let's give her a call. Let's get her on here and see what she has to say.
Tell us about that cruise. You were on it.
I didn't realize you were on the cruise.
She was there. Julia said, "There's no room for you at the table. We're all like part of the Bravo family, and you can't pull up a chair." Julia didn't want her there.
This changes my mind because watching the episode, you know, it starts out with her two little beautiful boys and it's such a sweet moment
Gorgeous.
and all this. And then it's like, then all of a sudden Gertie's flashing these text messages.
Gertie did what she felt like she had to do. Jen Fessler was there.
So even she understands that was
Gertie gets this projection screen and there's screenshots of her text conversation with herself.
So the text messages got brought up in this season, in this episode, where the ladies were all on yachts and they had to get two separate yachts because, you know, things need to be separate. And because the people don't get along with people. And so they have two yachts and it's an overnight in the bay kind of thing. And Gertie gets there to the dinner and Lisa Hochstein decides she's gonna start things off at this dinner. And she says, oh, everybody go around the table and say something nice about another person. And she starts with like Adriana and Marisol. And Adriana says, you know, she says nice enough things about Marisol. Marisol's like, you play the piano. I wish I could play the piano. And then she's like, Gertie, can you say something nice about Julia? I would have made Julia start since she's the fucking liar of the group. I would have had her start. And I would have, if I was Gertie, I would have been like, oh, Julia, you go. But no, the ever gracious, ever composed Gertie said that she liked how Julia did XYZ. And it was a thoughtful XYZ. And then Julia, in true Russian bot form, says, oh, you throw good parties. Like, but what Gertie had said was about like her as a real person, like from when they were friends. And then Julia's just like, oh, you know how to blow up balloons. Really, bitch? And then she's like, and you say things no matter what the cost or something like that, she said. And then this one, Alexia decides to start attacking Gertie. And aggressively questioning Gertie about, you didn't think about us when you put the truth up there. You didn't think about us. Like she's somehow injured them by revealing that their friend is a fucking bold-faced liar. And of course, she said it like with her nose high up in the air like that, like she always does. Like you're lucky I'm even spilling this BS on you, but you didn't even think about us. How do you think that made us feel? And I loved when Gertie said, you know what? I'm not apologizing. I'm not taking accountability. I said what I said. And what did I do to you, by the way? How did what I do affect you? You tell me. And they can't tell her. And then she says, did you even read it? And you know, none of those ladies, they're all illiterate. None of them can read. None of them read the text. They've been listening to lies, fine, because it doesn't require reading. So they can listen fine. And then mimic, great. Just repeat back what they've been told. But to like actually read and have some substance, oh my gosh. I wonder what Bravo could really slip in their contracts. These bitches aren't reading nothing. Because they did not even read the text that Gertie took the time to blow up large enough for all of their very aged geriatric eyeballs to see. Because you know, over 40, you need some glasses anyway. So she made it nice and large for all to see. And the illiterates all were like, oh my God, it was so many words. It was so many words that I was going to have to read all at once. And I don't know how to read. And why did she want me to read at a party that we're saying is about cancer, but it wasn't about cancer. But we're going to say it was about cancer so that it plays into our narrative that you're a bad person for revealing a truth. And none of us even are going to say sorry or hold Julia accountable. We're just going to focus on you exposing the truth, because you know you Black people aren't supposed to go around revealing the truth. When masses lying, you're just supposed to let masses lies be lies. Don't you know that? That's your place, is to just get lied on, get drinks tossed on you, and know your place is to just do that, regardless of what your effect, how much it brings your spirit down, how much it hurts your soul to be in this group of fucking pit vipers. No matter that. No, 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 no. No, no, no. We just need you to shut up and eat your bullets. And that's just the message on mass, the programming on mass, the harmful stereotypes that are being perpetuated via entertainment purposes under the PSYOP guise of entertainment. Yeah. It's high-key disgusting. You know? That production knows this is all bullshit. And still, nobody's stepping in. Nobody's like stopping the fakeness. This is fakey McFuckerson stuff happening. Nobody's stopping it. They're just letting all this lies. And all the women sitting over there just gobbling up the lies. And mad at the ones who want to think outside of the lies. Like, they mad at Stephanie. They're calling her, what do they call her? A kiss ass? Because she wanted to try to hear Gertie's side of the story for exposing the truth. She's like, so what do these messages mean? Because was Stephanie at the party where she got the water thrown on her? She's like, so what do you mean? What is this now? Oh, so she could put 2 and 8 together. But they want Gertie to be responsible for protecting Julia at her expense. That is so weird. Isn't that bizarre? I don't know. I feel like it's very bizarre. And I'm not sure why they would do it for entertainment purposes. Okay, let's see. So there was one more. Oh. The Russell and Gertie story is so sweet.
Talking about the Celebration of Life event that you hosted. We know you shared some text messages there, but I kind of agreed with Larsa. I paused the screen and tried zooming in to read these texts, Gertie. I could not read them. Can you tell us, like, what they expressed?
I wanted to finally share the truth where I knew I would not be interrupted, because there's reasons why people want to interrupt you when you're trying to tell the truth, which happened at the wedding chaos. I was interrupted multiple times. And this was my opportunity to have clarity, for my opportunity to release the truth on my terms and not hold it anymore, to protect others. And so after having lunch with people or dinner with people individually, trying to say this is an entire lie from beginning
what is the lie?
To end. Her fabrication of the Zoom, her fabrication of this cruise story. And it's not about the cruise, is what I want people to know, but it's a conduit to try to paint me as something that I am not. And one thing that I am not is a liar.
Right.
And one thing that I am is a good friend. So when you show up for a friend who asks you to show up, and you're there for them because they say they need emotional support, and they turn it around and said, you volunteered, you wanted to be in my room, my jacuzzi, and you made everything about you. And I was thinking about my wife, but you decided to ruin my cruise. That's going to be a problem for me, because that's a character slender. And I've worked too hard to be in a position where I have to sit there and defend my character for a cruise that happened before season 6 for Union.
Yeah, I was going to say, and for a cruise, like, can we just let the cruise go?
But no, let's focus on the timeline.
Right.
For a cruise that happened before season 6 reunion.
So it could have been brought up
And
previously.
It could have been brought up by season 6 if it was a problem. It was never a problem. It was
Yeah.
never a discussion. It was just a text exchange, and that was that. To be my friend still to my face for a year, then behind my back start talking about me with the girls.
Why do you think she's doing that now and she didn't right away?
Julia had a beautiful storyline. She was going to stick to adopting children, and which she did, and it's a beautiful storyline for her. To add me to that and to add other elements to that, which you will see unfold on this season, she got too greedy with storylines, and half of them are story lies.
Dive right into Wednesday's episode 7.
She said, too greedy, and their story lies. Story lies. So here's the text, you guys. Thought you wanted to be here and would have enjoyed being here. Otherwise, I would have never suggested to join me and leave your kids and Russell. Just getting back to the room. It's party, and I had no control over the list. I guess changes were made when blank canceled. I'm sorry. Are you well taken care of? To be honest, I'm a little taken aback that I was moved to the side for this exclusive party. If I'm supposed to come as blank's replacement, I should have been extended the invitation as a courtesy, especially when I'm leaving my kids and husband. And then there was another text. Let's see. Leaving my kids and husband. And then she says, thought you wanted to be here. So all of this proves that Gertie wasn't like begging to come do content on a cruise. Okay. And I've been talking a lot about, is this going to show it? No. You're not going to be able to see it there. Is it here? No. Let's see. Anyway, you're not going to be able to see that. But this show is crazy, you guys. Isn't that crazy that they have other celebrities condoning violence against Bravo celebrities? Like, it's just disgusting. And for that man and his old saggy balls to have not freaking apologized yet or pretended to care is disgusting. And for Martina's legacy to be negatively impacted by this obvious anti-blackness based on lies is hard to watch. And it's not entertaining to me. I feel like NBC in particular, I'm like, what does the NBC stand for? No blacks and coloreds? I'm just like, they are very disrespectful to blackness on NBC in particular, and allow all of this abuse.
Talking about the celebration of life event.
Because on Love Island, let me just close with this as part of why that's my theory on NBC's desire, I'm speculating an alleged desire to engage in misogynoir, violence against black women, harmful stereotype propagation against black women in particular. Because when Nicolandria and Shelley went on Love Island, as it turned out, they had both been pursued by production for 3 years. This was season 7 of Love Island. They asked Shelley to be on there the first time in season 5. They asked Nicolandria since season 4 to please come to their production. Please come over here. We think you guys are so beautiful. Come over here. And then got them there and edited them as empty yet mean, plotted black women who hurt these white ladies and the other ladies were scared of. and then allowed, like particularly for Nicolandria, the person she was coupled up with, production knew said that he didn't find her attractive and wasn't interested in her really, and had him sleeping next to her for like 19 days. And then edited it so that we saw her running after him constantly. That's what it made it look like. Like he didn't do anything. It was so interesting. So they begged her to come to a space so that they could edit her in an abusive way, in a way that was less than her true character or what she even deserved. Isn't that interesting? And when I was watching Love Island, I did say that it was part of a government psyop. And my son said it, and now I believe it because yeah, this is like, why would they want to beg a black woman to come to a space where they would do this? Unless you needed people for the psyop. You needed subjects for the experiment of the psyop in order to make and stir up a reaction in a certain base of people. That's why they allowed Huda a redemption arc, an obvious redemption arc with lots of camera time to appease her to an audience, while simultaneously editing Shelly and Nicolandria as standoffish and in like a bad way, to the point where Ariana's like, oh, her real self finally came out because Nicolandria spoke up one day like, oh, we've been waiting for the angry black woman, that's her real self. Anyway. When is this from? That's November. Let me see. I can play the Amaya. Where's Amaya's voice real quick? Amaya. Okay, let's see. So here's some words she mispronounced.
Opportunity than any type of vulgar or profanity. A huge weight of gratitude. You just gave birth. Saki had every opportunity to tell me that we just survived in a caucus yesterday, bro. If I can survive Love Island, I can survive for sure. Skydiving. I felt like this was my opportunity than any type of vulgar or profanity.
So that was some of her mispronounced words that she would do. But let me see. And then here it is before. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Here we go, I think it is.
Let's make this clear. I don't care if you don't like me. Because I'm still be pretty at the end of the day. Alright, let's make this clear. This is word to my mother, word to my brother, word to my grandpa, word to somebody I don't even know, word to my life. Let a girl try to touch me. Let her try to touch me. Word to everybody. I'm up. I'm shooting her up. I'm her up. You see this? Do you see this? There's always that one boy, or groups of boys, that
you see every single period in the hallway, and every time you see them, they always want you to stop and hug them and have a full conversation with them. Like, I see you first period, I give you a hug, have a quick 2 minutes convo, like, hi, what's up, how you doing? And continue by my name. Then I see him second, third, fourth, fifth, and then he's gonna be like, so you ain't gonna say hi, you ain't gonna give me a hug. Oh, so you miss Hollywood now? Like, no, I just hugged you 30 minutes ago. What the hell? Like, you walking in the hallway, you're in this direction, he's like all the way in the other direction of the hallway, and there's man people like walking back and forth during the class, so he wants you to cut through that little crowded place so you could go give him a hug. Like, no, what the hell? I just hugged you freaking 30 minutes ago. How many hugs do you want from me? Your mother don't hug you enough? Your mother don't freaking ask you how you doing that you always want.
She's totally giving Rosie Perez. She's totally giving Rosie Perez, but I don't feel like Rosie Perez is anti-black. I don't feel like Rosie Perez would be like, oh, I'm not Afro-Latina. You know, I don't think Rosie Perez would be like, oh, I'll never bring a black guy home to her dad. Or maybe she would. I don't know. She used to be a Soul Train dancer when I was a kid. So me and Rosie Perez grew up together practically, and never have I ever heard of any race stuff with Rosie Perez. But all of this stuff is being alleged about Amaya and her anti-Afroism. Yeah. But Palaver, I wanted to play that so you could hear her different accents, right? And American Eagle's problem, I see your comment up there, Joanne. American Eagle and Dunkin' Donuts have put out epigenetic ads. Okay, so somebody on TikTok was saying that they sent out a memo when Project 2025 went into effect in January. They sent out a memo to media outlets and their marketers and advertisers and let them know to whitewash everything, that there would be a great whitewashing in effect. And they didn't want to see no DEI. They don't want to look at it unless it plays into, you know, some, like they can do some kind of accent or something like that. So allegedly that's what's happening. But for everybody to pretend like black people are just tripping on the American Eagle ad, when the issue was that the words on the ad that she said are fine. Who cares what that little girl says? I don't care. I don't care what she says. They're trying to give her like a Brooke Shields feel. I remember when the first Calvin Klein commercial came out and the Sassoon Vidal jean commercials came out. These bitches are all trying to recreate iconic ad campaigns in 2025. And this shit has already been done, honestly. It's already been done. And they're missing a lot of marks with their redos. But they can keep trying. I mean, if you can't be original, try. But I would just say, I mean, the wheel was already invented. The least you could do is put some glitter on that bitch. But for you to put out a worse wheel than the first wheel, because they said the words are fine. I have good genes. That's fine. My genes are blue. So what if her eyes were blue and her jeans were blue? So what? But the words on the ad that it actually said first was her genes are good. Genes. And that's why people got their panties in a bunch, was because that becomes an epigenetic type of statement, right? Because it implies superiority with your genes that sat on a porch while the rest of us was building a motherfucking country. But there's that. So then when people who can read like us, not like Larsa, not like Alexia, not like Marisol, not like even Kiki doesn't know how to read, but people who can read, who are not illiterate, and who read the words on the original post for the American Eagle jean commercial, and our eyeballs saw it say Genes, know specifically that you're talking about genes is in your DNA, bitch. That's why we called you out. It's not because, oh, this white girl said that she has blue genes. No, 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 no. See, and now you're trying to play us off. Now you're giving us an edit like the rest of the PSYOP where we look like crazy, angry black people for no fucking reason. Because then they went back and changed the ad, but they're still letting her say the words that the ad said, but spelled differently. So they're like, are you still mad? Why are you guys so mad? Do you smell the gas in the country? Do you smell the gas? Because they are like gaslighting the fuck out of us right now. The shit said GENES. And yeah, you changed it. And with no explanation either, but you changed that shit. So you knew something was wrong. But then you let the words be the words, and the outrage still remains over the unaddressed word that you chose to use. So that's the real problem. Now, for Dunkin' Donuts, though, I'm not exactly sure about what happened over there. We don't even have a Dunkin' Donuts around our neck of the woods. We have a lot of like mom and pop Vietnamese type donut shops around here. But yeah, I don't think I've never seen a Dunkin' Donuts in like a 20-mile radius. And I live in the capital of California. Yeah, I've never seen, but I'm not like Googling that shit either. But like, I drive a lot of places, been a lot of places. And in my radius, never have I ever seen a Dunkin' Donuts. Never have I ever. There's like one on the way to Oakland from Fairfield, but it's way off sides in freaking American Canyon. And you have to go all the way down an extra road and shit to get there. But yeah, so I don't really know what Dunkin' Donuts did. Wow, I didn't know that I knew something was up. I brought those brands up because, yep. She says, I brought those brands up because it sounds like Isaac Jizz is trying to signal it too. Yep. They lie to our face so much and have no idea. We know their code better than they do because we've suffered it. Exactly. No, I mean Amaya trying to fake be a Rosie Perez. Yeah, we love Rosie. Yeah, she could never, right? Amaya could never. In a million years, Amaya could never. I mean, Amaya does have her qualities and stuff, but they're kind of steeped where they are. And look, it chaps my hide when especially other minorities who we've, as Black people and our civil rights movement specifically, has impacted their lives for the better, and then they come over to our country and then they have the nerve to judge us like white people judge us, is like such a fucking trigger for me. It's such a fucking trigger. I'm like, we literally try to make the world better for everybody and include all these people that never think twice about leaving us behind and using our own laws against us, leaving us out of the loop, only to find out in times such as these that their entire community is steeped in anti-Blackness. And we've been all kind of bros, si se puedes with them for all this time. And it's been hurting my feelings a lot lately. It's been hurting I had no idea how anti-Black the brown was. I had no idea. I'm like, et tu, Brute? I had no idea how anti-Black Afro, Latino culture was until just recently. No idea. But maybe I was choosing to be blind to something and just thought, because like, hey, I'm from Oakland. And in my neck of the woods, the browns and the blacks, we kicked it good. We kicked it heavy. We were like, had each other's back, So to find out that like people like Ulissa, who's Cuban, is like, oh yeah, we grow up talking about the N-word, and if you don't want me to use it, then you shouldn't put it in your music. You people shouldn't put it in your music if you don't want me to use it. That's what this Cuban lady believes. And then the Dominicans with their I'm 100% Dominican, but they have an afro thicker than mine. And it's just a lot to absorb when, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, we're in this together. Like, we're really going to do, let's overcome the man together. And then only come to find out, like, you've been part of the man. Like, I'm like, really, bitch? It's shocking. It's very shocking. But then to get a pass, so like Alexia gets to have obvious anti-blackness with Gertie and then get a pass because, oh, in her culture, that's how they are. No, fuck that. Be different. Don't come on TV and spread that shit. Be different, Alexia. It's 25. I mean, didn't you have a whole pedophile husband? You can learn to be different. It's okay to be a different person. And then you're gonna come over here treating and come over and treat Gertie like this on the show, and Gertie's been nothing but nice to you. Oh yeah, I could play that for you too. Alexia is saying that she doesn't even talk to Gertie, really, and that if she calls Gertie, Gertie's just gonna think something's wrong because she never calls Gertie. Everybody else is hi. That's because she's anti-black. She only likes people who worship her, and Gertie doesn't kneel. Wow, didn't know that. Knew something was up. They lie to our face. No, I mean, Amaya, Duncan put out the weirdest ad about genetics and is no way trying to cater to those in power. Oh, I don't know. Let me look up Dunkin' Donuts genetics ad. I'm going to look it up real quick and then we'll be out of here because we're right at an hour and 6 minutes. So Dunkin' Donuts ad. 5 days ago, the King of Summer ad. Let's see.
Look, I didn't ask to be the King of Summer. It just kind of happened. This tan? Genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer. Literally. I can't help it. Every time I drink a Dunkin' Golden Hour refresher, it's like the sun just finds me. So sipping these refreshers makes me the King of Summer. Guilty as charged. Look, I didn't ask to be the King of Summer. It just kind of happened. This tan? Genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer. Literally. I can't help it. Every time I drink a Dunkin' Golden Hour refresher, it's like the sun just finds me. So sipping these refreshers makes me the King of Summer. Guilty as charged.
Okay.
The Golden Hour refresher. Only a Dunkin'.
I don't know if that's the commercial, but it's a little weird. He said he's golden, but he's a white guy. It's a white guy who looks kind of like Nick right here on the screen. And talking about he got a color analysis back that he's a golden king. Interesting. I don't know if that's the ad. Let me ask it another way. Offensive? Was it offensive? Should that be the search? Dunkin' offensive ad? Or should I put epigenic? Epigenetic. Yeah, it says released a genetics themed ad, and that was it. Wait, let me see.
So I finally got my claim for my car accident. I'm a little bummed. Really? They only offered me $5.
Of American Eagles, Gavin Castellano's Dunkin' ad is facing heat over the topic of genetics.
In Dunkin' Donuts' new summer commercial, King of Summer, actor Gavin Castellano is seen lounging by a pool, shirt open, showing off a tan. He then says to the camera, "Look, I didn't ask to be the King of Summer, it just happened. This tan, genetics." Let's watch.
Look, I didn't ask to be the King of Summer. It just kind of happened. This tan? Genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer. Literally. I can't help it. Every time I drink a Dunkin' Golden Hour Refresher, it's like the sun just finds me.
The outrage comes on the heels of American Eagle's Perfect Jeans campaign, which was slammed for allegedly glorifying white jeans. Let's watch that.
If you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop.
So now she gets to use the word allegedly. And I told you guys before, what they printed, the words they printed with the ad, it's spelled jeans, G-E-N-E-S. So they're not talking about the jeans that this girl is talking about or could be talking about in this commercial. So the way that lady just chuckled off that this could possibly be offensive to somebody is part of this PSYOP programming, you guys.
Stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has her jeans.
Many on social media blasted the new Dunkin' commercial. Users were pointing out that ad commercials are allegedly getting obsessed with genetics these days, and some even vowed to boycott the company. Oh, this is one of these ones where I'm supposed to defend a kind of crazy left-wing position.
You don't have to defend anything, Niall.
I mean,
just talk about
I
it.
just find the furor about this so bizarre. There's a comedian I like who pops up on TikTok more than anywhere else, Matt Bushell, who was talking about the fact that among the things that people of a more liberal disposition could complain about right now, the Sydney Sweeney ad in particular seems like so far down the list. And the idea that there she is there talking about, you know, great genes, that it is a message of white nationalism or endorsing eugenics or whatever. Like, no, like, don't, let's not be silly. And the Dunkin' ad, which I have literally seen when we played it in the introduction there, seems just, I mean, first of all, it seems to have a generally fairly ironic kind of tone. Yeah. I mean, I don't think, maybe I should introduce my rising segments by saying, I'm the king of summer, or whatever the thing is from now on. But it seems intentionally kind of a sort of nudge and a wink to that.
Sure, it's tongue-in-cheek, yeah.
I'm not really. Anyway.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is silly, no surprise there. The Sydney Sweeney ad is what a lot of people missed, was based on an old Calvin Klein jeans ad with Brooke Shields, and people were responding to me when I said that, and they were like, well, no, the Brooke Shields ad was different. There were actually two, and there was one where she actually used the jeans double entendre or pun to sell the Calvins, and so this was basically a retread of that classic 90s ad, and she ends it with,
didn't I say that? I said I grew up with the original thing, and they did it before, but they didn't spell it G-E-N-S. It was the same. It could have implied either.
My jeans are blue, so it's like, come on. We know what she's doing there, and Sydney Sweeney has great jeans because she's a beautiful woman. Yeah. Like, I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. The Gavin Castellano thing with Dunkin' Donuts, I think people were trying to make it out like Dunkin' had deliberately cut this ad because of Sydney Sweeney. For anyone who has even a semblance of idea of how corporate advertising works, ads don't just appear out of thin air after 2 days, right? This was obviously a long-planned campaign, was probably shot weeks ago, and the timing is more of a coincidence. Sure. Commercial ad. I mean, this is my...
With that. But, like, I mean, it's just, you know...
And I saw a couple pairs, not the ones Sydney's wearing in the ad, but they look nice, and I thought, why not? They were on sale too.
Well,
so
there you go.
Can't beat it.
It's a good deal all around. Yeah. I did see that thing of.
Okay, so I'm gonna look for the actual. Let me go back. So American Eagle. Because I know it's going around social media, the way that it was spelled. Maybe Vanity Fair will show the truth. Instagram. No, that's the after statement. Yeah, they're acting like people are mad at Okay. When I find the picture, I'll post it to my wall here on, posted a photo. Is this it? I have to go through my phone. But, oh, look, see? They updated American Jeans ad. So there's a whole Reddit thread about it. Let's see if the Reddit thread, view in Reddit app. Nope. Let's just stick right here. You know, Reddit be coming through sometimes with the actuals. Well, when I find it, I'll post it, like I said. Anyway, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I had no idea about that whole Dunkin' Donut thing. I don't really, you know, just for him to say that his golden is genetic. It wasn't even golden, you guys. I don't know. They be trying to confuse us on colors. Like, I'm not black. That's not, I'm a very nice caramel mocha latte. You know, I'm more golden than old boy. But, yeah, with a capital B when I am, though. So let's see. It says, Joanne, that's the one. Yeah, I did hear him say it's genetics. Yeah. Okay, the news people who, what does genetics have to do with donuts, right? And summer drinks, exactly. Okay, now people of color are silly. Yep, imagining racist things. That's what I'm saying. Like, so am I tripping for noticing that my bread took 5 minutes longer than everybody's? Am I tripping? Or was that some fucking racist act disguised as poor customer service? Look, yeah, they want me to think I'm silly. They want you to think you're silly. They want us to continue to pretend like this is a microaggression when it's all been macro. They do it all with their balls out on your dining room table. But then when you mention there's balls on your dining room table, they get mad at you. It's just like with Julia. They mad at Julia. They mad at Gertie for pointing out that Julia put her hairy balls on a table. And they stink. Lie infested. Got them all out on the table, showing your whole ass. But I'm the problem? Really, bitch? That's just the times we're living in. And these ads are indicative of that. They want you slightly stirred. See how it's all part of the psyop. They want you slightly stirred, and then as soon as you stir, as soon as they get a little bit of a reaction, they're like, you silly black people. You silly colored people. Look at you getting your blood pressures up for no reason. You're making a big deal out of nothing when the entire time it was programmed with an intention to stir so that they could, in fact, call you crazy when you point it out, because that's a type of conditioning, reconditioning you that, oh, that didn't just happen. So you can't believe you have to believe the fucking perpetrator of the racist act, who obviously doesn't have your best interest at heart. So you see how it's like, anyway, you guys, I could go on and on until the break of dawn. Beats don't stop and they go on and on. It's Saturday. No, that was yesterday. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. I gotta go. I made burrito yesterday. So I'm gonna go have some burrito. I need to post it. People say I need to post all my cooking things. I did make those honey butter biscuits with you guys that day. And I owe my kids some. So I might come back and make some of those. I made homemade burrito with tri-tip. It wasn't the best cut of meat because tri-tip doesn't need to be cooked that long, you know. So, but it still came out very good and very delicious, and just shredded a little bit. Obviously prime rib or some chuck would have been, you know, a nice marbly chuck would have been better. But yeah, the tri-tip is good, but it kind of shrank and was like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have broke it up more beforehand. Anyway, it came out really good, and I made my homemade burrito sauce with my adobo peppers and my chipotles and my freaking oregano and all that stuff. I cook really good, you guys. And then I made some rice and beans with it. So yeah, I'll have like that. I was thinking of, do you guys think I should do, I think the boys will like it. I haven't made some Jamaican beef patties in a while. So I was thinking of doing the beef patty dough, but stuffing it with burrito. That'd be good, huh? Like put some of the leftover burrito meat and cheese inside of there. I was thinking I could do that because I feel like making some, I feel like baking something, and I do owe them some banana bread too. So maybe I could do 2 first since the oven's going to be on. But if I do feel like coming back and playing, I will. I'll look for that picture to put on my post on my community wall about how it's spelled at jeans. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for smashing that like button, smashing the subscribe button, and ringing my bell. Ringing my bell so you can get notified when I upload videos. Don't forget, the Love Island watch party is happening on my TikTok on August 25th. And then we're going to come back over here. And if we're to 5,000, then somebody's getting their Love Island merch. So be sure to tell a friend, each one teach one. If all of my current curvies, just tell a friend to, hey, can you go sub to my friend's thing? You know, she has good content. She gives good content. You know, she loves smashing like we do. And each one teach one, then I could be to my goal of 5,000, you guys. And you guys would have helped me get there. And that'll open up a whole new level of awesomeness for all of us. And so, yeah, if you guys can support that way, that would be excellente. Thanks for everybody for coming through. Remember what I always say, there's enough to go around. So go get some. I'll see you in the next video.